Khloe Kardashian has been in the news following her Photoshop scandal, and a lot of people are calling her out for her behavior. So we thought we should expose the people who have warned us about Khloe in the past. In at number 10, Larsa Pippen. Larsa Pippen is a former friend of the Kardashian clan, but after she left, she revealed a shady secret about Khloe. During an interview with the Hollywood Raw podcast, Pippen said that she dated Tristan Thompson right before he started dating Khloe, saying, quote, "I was kind of seeing Tristan before Khloe or any of them knew he existed. I was seeing him. I had him come to LA. I brought him to a party Kim had. I introduced him to all of them." And then apparently without saying a word to Larsa, Khloe and Tristan started their relationship. Larsa seemed to be a good sport about things, but that's definitely a violation of girl code, and shows that Khloe isn't loyal when she's interested in someone's man. In at number 9, Chloe Grace Moretz. During Kim and Kanye's feud with Taylor Swift, Chloe Grace Moretz got involved, and Khloe took a nasty low blow. After Kim released a video on Snapchat of Kanye West discussing his famous song with Taylor, Chloe Grace Moretz tweeted to defend Swift from the accusation that she lied about not knowing about the song before it was released. Moretz said, quote, "Stop wasting your voice on something so petulant and unimportant. Everyone in this industry needs to get their heads out of a hole and look around to realize what's actually happening in the real world." Then Khloe Kardashian jumped in to defend her sister, tweeting back, quote, "Is this the hole you're referring to, Chloe Grace Moretz?" adding a picture that seemingly showed Moretz's bare butthole. Moretz clapped back that the girl in the photo was not her, and tons of celebrities came to Moretz's defense against the nasty clapback. In at number 8, Ruby Rose. Ruby Rose was one of the celebrities that jumped in to defend Chloe Grace Moretz in her exchange with Khloe Kardashian. After the photo was tweeted out, Ruby Rose tweeted, quote, "Yo Khloe, I thought you were rad when I met you, but this is awful, and this is a 19-year-old girl. Nobody likes being bullied or made to feel worthless, yet so many people will go above and beyond to make others feel that way." Khloe defended her actions, responding back, quote, "I'm the last person to bully, but have an animal instinct to protect and defend my family. Refrain from commenting on my family and our business, and I'll do the same." So clearly Khloe did not regret posting that video whatsoever, and when Ruby kindly called out the action, Khloe somewhat threatened Ruby Rose. In at number 7, Joan Rivers. Joan Rivers makes her living by poking fun at celebrities, but when she did this to Kim Kardashian, Khloe was not happy about it. The feud between them started when Joan parodies Kim's infamous adult tape with Ray J by taking a photo in bed with Ray J, obviously to mock their tape. But Khloe pulled some punches of her own to ensure that Joan did not get away scot-free. Apparently, Khloe was set to co-host Joan's show Fashion Police, but she decided to pull out at the very last second, leaving producers scrambling to find a replacement last minute. And honestly, I thought at this point Kim would be able to take a joke about that event. I mean, it literally made her entire family famous. Like, I didn't think it was that big of a deal to make fun of. And at number 6, Adrienne Bailon. Adrienne Bailon dated Rob Kardashian in the beginning of their show, but they ended up breaking up because Rob cheated on her. However, it seemed that Adrienne had a good relationship with the sisters after the fact, but we learned later on that that actually wasn't the case. And Adrienne has had a rocky relationship with the Kardashians post-breakup. A feud ignited when Adrienne was on the cover of Latina magazine, and in the interview she said her decision to appear on Keeping Up was not a good one and actually hurt her career. Many of the Kardashians responded to this on Twitter, including Khloe, who said, quote, "Don't kick my brother while he's down. Thought her and I were cool, shake my head." Another negative moment between them was actually captured on the show, and Adrienne's family was going camping with the Kardashians. And even though Adrienne's family is very conservative, Khloe kept swearing and talking about sex while around her parents, which made Adrienne's family very uncomfortable. Halfway at number 5, Amy Schumer. While hosting Saturday Night Live, Amy Schumer took a dig at Khloe Kardashian, and Khloe clapped back. When talking about Khloe's weight loss, Schumer said, quote, "We used to have Khloe. Khloe was ours, right? Whenever there's a group of women, you identify with one of them, right? Khloe, she lost half her body weight. She lost to Kendall, and we have nothing." And obviously this was somewhat of a backhanded compliment, saying that Khloe was relatable because she didn't look as fit as her other sisters before her transformation. But I don't think that Amy actually meant it in a bad way. Khloe responded to the joke saying, quote, "No need to tear down others just to make yourself feel bigger. It actually makes you quite small. I'm on a healthy journey. I don't care for the hate." With Amy responding back, quote, "Nothing but love for that family. I like the idea of sending women the message to be happy in their own skin. Hashtag peace." So it seems Amy's message here was body positivity. In at number 4, Ronnie Magro. The Jersey Shore star had a bad interaction with Khloe Kardashian. This was because at one point Ronnie was actually dating Khloe's BFF, Malika Hack, and Khloe seemed to get jealous about how much time they were spending together. Side note, I had no idea that Ronnie and Malika dated. That is like the weirdest couple ever. But anyways, when speaking about the fact that her and Malika weren't hanging out as much, Khloe took a major dig at Ronnie, saying, quote, maybe she's embarrassed that she's dating Ronnie from Jersey Shore, cause I would be. Yikes, that's a really shady thing to say about your best friend. And the fact that she's trashing Ronnie when she's also a reality TV star and has done questionable things on camera is just really shady all around. In at number 3, Jordyn Woods. A lot of people believe that Khloe's scandal with Jordyn Woods exposed a nasty side of her. For a refresh on everything, Jordyn and Tristan Thompson, who was Khloe's baby daddy, had some sort of intimate contact, either a kiss or more. But what complicated things more was that Jordyn was best friends with Kylie, Khloe's younger sister. After the news came out, the entire family trashed on Jordyn publicly, while Jordyn stayed quiet. It also seemed like the family forgave Tristan rather quickly, while Kylie was almost forced to end her friendship with Jordyn. Jordyn ended up going on Red Table Talk to discuss her side of things. And after that interview, Khloe went on the defense and started tweeting more things against Jordyn. One shady tweet said, quote, why are you lying, Jordyn Woods? If you're going to try and save yourself by going public instead of calling me privately to apologize first, at least be honest about your story. By the way, you are the reason my family broke up. And of course, no one's defending Jordyn's actions here, but it takes two to tango. And Tristan has a long history of cheating on Khloe and disrespecting her publicly. So many felt it was wrong for her to almost take it out entirely on Jordyn. We can probably all agree that Tristan is most likely the one who initiated things. In at number 2, Nicole Polizzi. It seems that Khloe has a vendetta against Jersey Shore because Nicole Polizzi, aka Snooki, spoke about how she had a terrible experience when she met Khloe. Nicole was a guest on Cocktails with Khloe, and when talking about their first interaction, Polizzi flat out said that Khloe insulted her. She claimed that Kim Kardashian invited her over to the family's home, saying, quote, Kim tapped you on the shoulder, she goes, Khloe, look who's here. And you looked me up and down and said, I swear to God, I'm not lying. And you go, what the F is she doing here? Are you kidding me, Kim? Khloe says she doesn't remember insulting Nicole like that, but Nicole has really no reason to lie about something like that, so I'm definitely believing Nicole on this one. And if that's true, that is just really disgusting. That is so mean. In at number 1, Jameela Jamil. Jameela Jamil spoke up about the recent Khloe Kardashian Photoshop scandal on her Instagram, and she didn't hold back with her criticism against Khloe. Jamil said that Khloe's bikini scandal has been very damaging, saying, quote, they played their fans, but they played themselves worse, and everybody loses. Adding the diet culture is the real enemy. Saying later in the caption, quote, even though I remain furious at how much this family perpetuates fat phobia and impossible beauty standards, I totally see why they're so obsessed with presenting as whatever society's latest ideal of perfect is, because they were harassed and bullied and scrutinized to within an inch of their lives. So it seems that Jamil has empathy for what Khloe has gone through, but she understands Khloe and her family are a big reason that these beauty standards have been upheld in our society today. In at number 10, Jeffree Star. Jeffree Star is known to have all the tea, and when he does have the inside scoop on something, he usually shares it with his fans. During the Tristan Thompson Jordyn Woods scandal that rocked the entire world, Jeffree took to Twitter and Snapchat to share his thoughts on the situation. After Jordyn went on Red Table Talk and claimed that she and Tristan had shared a kiss, but nothing more, Khloe Kardashian slammed her former friend on Twitter, saying, quote, if you're gonna try and save yourself by going public instead of calling me privately to apologize first, at least be honest about your story. By the way, you are the reason my family broke up. Jeffree decided this was the best time for him to spill the tea on the situation and publicly trashed Khloe. Quote, my whole entire town knows they've been hooking up for at least a few months. The rest of the world is now being played by lies. Nothing new, LOL. Jeffree then went off on Snapchat, claiming the entire family are phenomenal actors and that Tristan and Jordyn have actually been, quote, hooking up for a month or two. Jeffree then went on to talk more trash about the Kardashian family, trashing Khloe specifically for blaming everything on Jordyn when Tristan was probably the one really to blame. In at number 9, Taylor Swift. During Kim Kardashian's feud with Taylor Swift, the family seemed to support Kim and Kanye from the sidelines, but not Khloe. Khloe inserted herself into the drama and made things a whole lot worse for everyone. Notably, she also got in a feud with 19-year-old Chloe Grace Moretz, and in the midst of all that drama, Khloe tweeted out a warning to Taylor Swift, saying, quote, Kim is a savage, don't F with her man, honey. And most people wouldn't blame Khloe for supporting her sister. However, she really didn't need to get involved and trash Taylor more after she was already getting exposed by Kim. However, we did learn later that the entire truth wasn't exposed anyways. In at number 8, Amber Rose. Amber Rose is Kanye West's ex, which already made her a target of the Kardashian clan, especially since Rose publicly stated that Kanye cheated with Kim. But the feud between them got even worse when Amber took Blac Chyna's side after Kylie started dating Tyga, Chyna's ex. Amber said she was ashamed of him for leaving his family, baby mama Blac Chyna and their son King Cairo, for a quote 16-year-old that just turned 17. Khloe didn't like that Amber was talking trash about Kylie, so Khloe tweeted out, quote, I was a stripper since I was 15 years old. Amber Rose told Fox, please don't worry about my sister who has a career and their together only at 17. People who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. After Khloe bashed Amber for her past, Amber clapped back comparing herself to Kim Kardashian, who claimed that Kim did worse than strip to support the Kardashian family. This again was another instance of Khloe inserting herself into some drama that she probably shouldn't have. In at number 7, Scott Disik. Scott Disik and Khloe Kardashian have a very close bond, but if you watch Keeping Up, then you know that it wasn't always that way. At one point, Khloe even got physical with Scott, slapping him right across the face. For a recap, Courtney was pregnant with Scott's son at the time, and even though they were broken up, they got back together when they learned that she was pregnant. Khloe thought this was pretty convenient timing and accused Scott of knocking her up, saying, quote, just admit it, you were jealous of Courtney. You thought she was going to leave you, so that's why you knocked her up with the old sausage. Adding, quote, you wanted to keep her for 18 years and not let anyone else have her. At this point in the argument, Scott grabbed Courtney by the arm to leave. But Khloe didn't like this, and as she slapped him, she yelled at him to not touch her sister Courtney. Courtney thought this was way too far and on her way out said, quote, that's so disrespectful to slap Scott across the face. That's totally crossing the line. In at number 6, Kim Kardashian. On Keeping Up, Kim exposed that Khloe has a really bad issue with her temper. It got so bad at one point that Khloe was forced to go to anger management classes on the show. The feud between Khloe and Kim started when Khloe overheard Kim talking with Courtney, where Kim said that Khloe was lying about not seeing an obscene video from the vacation. Khloe didn't take that accusation well, calling Kim a quote effing liar, saying, quote, you pissed me off because you never believed me. Then Kim clapped back, quote, you're so easy to piss off. When the topic came up later, Khloe went off on Kim once again, saying, quote, don't be an effing B and make me out to be a liar. Khloe talked more about the feud with her BFF Malika, who accused her of snapping way too quickly. Malika said, quote, you're the last person that people want to tee off on because your word vomit is crazy. Malika added that Khloe needed to change how she interacts with people. When Khloe later tried to apologize to Kim, Kim did not accept, saying, quote, you just snap for no reason. It's crazy how you just snap. Just call me back when you feel like being a nice, decent human being instead of being a B. Y'all know what I mean by B. Hopefully. Halfway at number 5, Kris Jenner. The family is known to prank their mom, Kris Jenner, but Khloe seems to always take it too far and has made her mother emotional on many occasions. In one earlier season when Khloe was getting married, Kris brought out her wedding dress to see if Khloe wanted to wear it, but Khloe flat out called it ugly, causing her mother to cry. Then another time when Kim and Khloe confronted their mother about scamming them, Khloe dropped a cake on Kris's head. Then later in their fight, Khloe threw another cake at her mom. And honestly, it's just really sad to see how mean that they are to Kris. Like, I know for the most part that they're just kidding around, but honestly, like, I just feel really bad for Kris sometimes. Like, she takes so much crap from them. Poor woman. In at number 4, Caitlyn Jenner. When Caitlyn Jenner transitioned, it created a strain in her relationships with the Kardashian clan, but the worst strain was between Khloe and Caitlyn. Caitlyn highlighted their feud when she posted to Instagram to celebrate Mother's Day, including all of the mothers in the Kar Jenner family in her posts other than Khloe, who was the most recent Kar Jenner to become a mom. Caitlyn even included her ex-wife Kris in the post, with the caption reading, quote, so blessed to have so many amazing moms in my life. And even though this was really shady, it wasn't that surprising as it's known that they had a tense relationship. However, I personally didn't realize that Khloe was the only person that Caitlyn was tense with at that time. More recently, Khloe said that their relationship is getting better, but they still don't talk very much, adding that there's no beef between them though. Not sure if I believe that. In at number 3, Khloe herself. Khloe Kardashian has been exposing herself with how much her looks have have changed over a very short period of time. The change has been in her actual appearance from cosmetic procedures, as well as in photos from photoshopping and Facetune. And people have become more critical of the changes Khloe has made, specifically the fact that she will not admit what procedures that she's had done. Instead of changing her behavior, Khloe has started to call out people for their comments against her. One person commented on one of her photos asking why she looked so different. Khloe then replied, quote, "From my weekly face transplant, clearly." She went on to joke a few months later that she worked as Nicole Richie's assistant, quote, 5 faces ago. In at number 2, Tristan Thompson. Khloe's on and off again boyfriend and baby daddy Tristan Thompson has treated her terribly throughout their relationship, publicly cheating on Khloe multiple times, even once with Kylie's BFF, Jordyn. Social media critics have been very hard on Khloe for how forgiving that she's been to Tristan, and say that she should be more like the old Khloe who didn't put up with any bad behavior. Earlier in the show, Khloe was seen as the tough sister who would never let a man treat her badly or cheat. And even though Tristan has done both of those things, she still goes back to him. Many think this could be proof that Khloe has changed as a person and is now so desperate that she'll do anything to be with him. Many have also called her out for taking Tristan's side in the Jordyn Woods scandal, when Tristan is the one that committed to Khloe, not Jordyn. And finally, at number 1, Selena Gomez. Selena Gomez got involved in the drama when the Kardashian family and Taylor Swift were facing off, following the release of Kanye West's song, Famous. Selena is of course besties with Taylor, so she took some subtle digs at the family in defense of her friend. Selena tweeted out, quote, "There are more important things to talk about. Why can't people use their voice for something that effing matters?" She later tweeted, quote, "Truth, the last thing we need right now is hate in any form." She lastly tweeted, quote, "This industry is so disappointing yet the most influential. Shake my head." Many believe these were also digs at Khloe specifically, as Selena sent out these tweets in the midst of Khloe's feud with Chloe Grace Moretz, that we talked about more in the last part. And honestly, I completely agree with Selena here. That feud was just so stupid and so unnecessary. Chrissy Teigen is finally getting canceled for all the horrible things that she has said to other celebrities over the years. And if you don't know all about it, I'm going to be breaking it all down for you right now in this list. I'm Mackenzie. Let's get into the top 10 celebrities that warned us about Chrissy Teigen. In at number 10, Farrah Abraham. Back in 2013, Chrissy decided to attack Teen Mom star Farrah Abraham. She tweeted at the time, quote, "Farrah Abraham now thinks she's pregnant from her sex tape. In other news, you're a and everyone hates you. Whoops, not another news story." This was referring to the tape that Farrah made with adult film star James Dean. At the time, pretty much everyone was hating on Farrah, so that's why these comments were quickly forgotten about. But obviously, Chrissy took things way too far. After the comments, some fans started to call out Chrissy for shaming Farrah, which Chrissy denied, adding, quote, "How is calling out a willing, lied as leaked, adult tape participant who hired Paps to photo her buying preg test this AM shaming?" When the backlash against Chrissy did not stop, she finished off her statements on the matter, quote, "Wow, amazed to see the outrage behind calling a staged leaked adult tape chick from Teen Mom exactly what she is. Go on with your bad selves." In at number 9, Quanzave Wallace. This is easily the worst one because Chrissy decided to attack a child for absolutely no reason. Back in 2013, while Chrissy was watching the Oscars, she decided to call out the youngest person at the event, Quanzave Wallace. She tweeted, quote, "Is it okay to call a small child cocky?" Adding later, quote, "I am forced to like Quanzave Wallace because she's a child, right? Okay, fine." Making it clear who she was talking about in the first tweet. After this attack, she was dragged online for her comments, but she didn't seem to care and never apologized for the tweets. Wallace has never commented on the situation, probably because she's more classy than Chrissy will ever be. In at number 8, Tyra Banks. These two are both known divas, so obviously putting them together for a show was bound to be a disaster. They were actually picked to host a daytime talk show called The Fab Life, starring Chrissy and Tyra. But shortly after it started, there were already rumors that the two were feuding. Only 3 months after the show began, Tyra decided to leave. The show got canceled 2 months after that. Tyra didn't talk about why she left, but everyone was pretty sure it was because of Chrissy. A source told Page 6 at the time, quote, "You never put two supermodels on the same show together, especially when one's more than 10 years younger than the other." After these comments were made, both models denied that there was any bad blood. However, Tyra took a shady dig when she said that she, quote, "doesn't beef with people I hire." In at number 7, Katie Cassidy. Some people might find Chrissy's feud with actress Katie Cassidy somewhat noble because Chrissy was attempting to defend a friend, but it also shows how often she gets involved in things that have nothing to do with her. This feud started when Cassidy tweeted that she didn't like how journalist Erin Andrews was doing her job. Chrissy then got involved to defend her friend Erin. Chrissy tweeted at Katie, quote, "Job now. The work a person does regularly to make money. Alt, what Erin Andrews has. Second alt, what you don't have. bye, but Katie clapped back, writing, quote, "Just to be clear, your profile reads, quote, gold digger and stuff. You're asking me if I have a job? I'll send you a book." The fight continued to get pretty heated between the women, but eventually it died down. In at number 6, Mohr. This feud was so uncalled for, and it's just more proof that Chrissy is a bully for literally no reason. This was actually one of her first public feuds back in 2011. At the time, Jay just had a son, and Chrissy reacted to the news of the name by tweeting out, quote, "Nikki Cox and Mohr named their son Meredith. Their son, Meredith. Meredith is their son's name. The name of their son is Meredith." And of course, after comments like that, Jay clapped back. He replied, quote, "Why are you even near me? Take your somewhere where guys like sixes in bikinis. Matt Liner wouldn't sleep with you." Chrissy replied, quote, "What do you count as making fun of your son's name? Saying it's feminine? It is, big deal." This feud dragged on for hours, with Jay bringing his wife, Nikki Cox, into the mix by saying Chrissy's husband, John Legend, used to text Nikki and give her free tickets. But Jay actually won this fight, and the feud ended with Chrissy tweeting that she had no comeback, which I'm sure is pretty rare for her. Halfway at number 5, VH1. This one's a bit random, but a few years ago, Chrissy publicly feuded with network VH1 after they made an op-ed on her where they called her a hypocrite. And even though that's honestly nothing compared to what Chrissy has said about other people over the years, Chrissy lost it. She tweeted out, quote, "Defending myself as being a hypocrite, I have never once randomly sought out someone to attack," which is literally the biggest lie I have ever heard. She randomly attacked basically every single person on this list. Chrissy then finished off, quote, "Why don't you stop policing people's emotions and learn what a hypocrite is?" Even though the network really didn't do anything wrong, Chrissy won that battle because the network decided to remove the article. In at number 4, Sharon Osbourne. I'm not shocked at all that these two got into a fight. This all went down in 2019. After John Legend changed the lyrics of Baby It's Cold Outside to be more modern, Sharon shared her negative opinion. Sharon said on the talk, quote, "It's a piece of art, and the thing is to change an innocent lyric to what it is. Your mind and your body? What the hell are you on? That's ridiculous." Sharon went on to say that she likes John and means no disrespect. She just didn't agree with the artistic choice. Chrissy decided to defend her husband and tweeted, quote, "Sharon's always got to have something to say. I remember those days of getting to talk crap for money. It was very fun." Sharon then clapped back at Chrissy, saying she's a has-been that married into fame. And at number 3, Dina Lohan. A frequent target of Chrissy's over the years has been Lindsay Lohan. In 2011, Tegan tweeted out, quote, "Lindsay adds a few more to her wrist when she sees Emma Stone." I have literally no idea what that's even referencing, but that's absolutely disgusting. Later that year, Chrissy had a court date and she was tweeting about it. One tweet said, quote, "I cannot wait to show up in court with John to fight this. At Lindsay Lohan, what should I wear? You're the expert. Help." Obviously making fun of Lindsay's struggles with the law. Lindsay's mother recently decided to comment on these nasty tweets made by Chrissy. She told Fox News, quote, "As a single mother of 4 children, I raised them to be kind, humble, and non-judgmental. That being said, I will not judge her words towards others, but I stand firm in one looking into oneself and continuing to learn and grow. #OwnYou. In at number 2, Mariah Carey. The last person that anyone should ever want to get in a feud with is Mariah Carey. But Chrissy clearly has no boundaries in her mockery. In 2010, when it was announced that Mariah Carey was pregnant with her twins, Monroe and Moroccan, Chrissy decided to make fun of her weight. She tweeted, quote, "Why is everyone surprised Mariah is having twins? I was always pretty positive there was 2 to 15 babies growing inside of her." And obviously it's never okay to body shame anyone ever, but body shaming a pregnant person is just a whole other level of just disgusting, nasty troll. And finally, at number 1, Courtney Stodden. Courtney Stodden recently exposed Chrissy's nasty mean girl behavior that really started Chrissy's recent downfall. According to an interview Stodden did with the Daily Beast, they claim that Chrissy repeatedly told them to take their own life. After the interview, some of Tegan's old tweets resurfaced, and they were just as horrendous as Stodden claimed. BuzzFeed pulled screenshots of the tweets Tegan sent in 2011 and 2012. And many of the tweets that actually tagged Stodden are mocking and hurtful. One of the tweets read, quote, "Go to sleep forever." Another read, quote, "What drug makes you do that with your mouth? Asking for a friend who really wants to know how to look like an idiot. Thanks." And to make things even worse, Stodden alleged that Chrissy wouldn't just tweet about them, but would also send Stodden private messages. These messages apparently told Stodden to end their own life and told Stodden that Tegan couldn't wait for them to die. The backlash against these tweets got so bad that Chrissy actually decided to apologize. A lot of people are not buying the excuses. If you guys thought all the exposing of Chrissy Teigen was over in the last video, then you are wrong. I was shocked that there are even more celebrities than I thought that have warned us about Chrissy Teigen's behavior. In at number 10, Avril Lavigne. For absolutely no reason, Chrissy decided to take aim at Avril Lavigne of all people. She tweeted in 2011, quote, "If you told me I could have a kid, but it would be exactly like Avril, I would choose to have a barren, sterile existence that ends when I die." Shortly after, she tweeted again, quote, "Watching an Avril Lavigne interview, the second most painful thing I've watched today after the goods." These tweets not only prompted anger from Avril's fans, but also a lot of confusion. Like, what was the reason to go after her like that? Chrissy never actually gave a reason, but did issue an apology after a lot of backlash. Writing, quote, "I would formally like to apologize, but not one of those sorry you're offended apologies, because I am. I spewed out terrible opinions and observations all day and didn't think twice about that one." I mean, hey, at least she apologized. In at number 9, Tamera Mowry. Chrissy decided to call out Tamera Mowry after she did a brand deal. In 2015, Mowry announced that she was pregnant on Instagram in collaboration with Clear Blue, where she showed the positive pregnancy test. After the post, Chrissy indirectly commented by tweeting out, quote, "How much money does Clear Blue pay celebrities to Instagram their pee sticks? This seems lucrative." When fans called her out, Chrissy responded that it actually wasn't shade towards Tamera. Chrissy had actually announced her pregnancy on Instagram months before. Maybe she was just peeved that she wasn't offered a brand deal. And at number 8, Chris Brown. Chrissy decided to take aim at Chris Brown in 2011 when she tweeted, quote, "So excited to see Chris Brown. I love loud and surprising background fits of rage I can hear from the audience." Chris didn't originally respond to the shade, but Chris's fans started to defend him online and spread hate to Teigen. That's when Chris got involved to somewhat defend her, writing on Twitter, quote, "Team Breezy, let's stop sending threats. I know y'all about that life, but it's the wrong message. You're turning haters into victims." But it seemed that Chrissy didn't take the high road herself and got into another feud with him in 2015 when she posted that Brown had blocked her on Twitter. This caused another attack from Brown's fans. This time he decided to not defend her. And at number 7, Floyd Mayweather Jr. The legendary boxer got into a feud with Chrissy after he was gifted a rare and exotic tiger from India from a Russian organization. In a tweet about the new tiger, Mayweather Jr. asked, quote, "Any suggestions for a name for this 2-month-old female tiger?" After his tweets about the new pet, Mayweather Jr. started getting backlash for accepting a wild animal. Chrissy also shared her disagreement with the decision by tweeting, quote, "I'm okay with people having pet tigers because it increases their chances of being eaten by a tiger." Later during an interview, Mayweather Jr. said he accepted the tiger because he's part of a team that's working to save and breed them. He was also asked about Chrissy's comments, and he replied, quote, "The thing is, I've never had anything negative to say about John Legend. I really don't even know what his wife does." Adding, quote, "I'm pretty sure she's a lot going on in her life, but you know, I'm something to talk about." In at number 6, Alison Roman. Alison Roman started a feud with Chrissy when she made some unsavory comments about Teigen's cooking career. During a 2020 interview with New Consumer, food writer and cookbook author Alison Roman said, quote, "What Chrissy Teigen has done is so crazy to me. She had a successful cookbook, and then it was like, boom, line at Target. Boom, now she has an Instagram page that has over 1 million followers, where it's just like people running a content farm for her. That horrifies me, and it's not something that I ever want to do." But Roman did say that she's the one laughing with all the money that Chrissy's probably making off of it. Teigen obviously didn't take the comments well and was disappointed at the opinion. Teigen responded on Twitter saying the comments were a huge bummer and she's been supporting Alison for years. Chrissy also added that she loved Alison and her cooking and denied allegations of a content farm. Roman ended up apologizing, although some people did agree that Teigen's celebrity status gave her a name in cooking that she might not have earned. Halfway at number 5, Tripped Woman. So this incident wasn't actually Chrissy's fault, but many had more issues with her response. When Teigen hosted the Billboard Music Awards in May of 2015, she was walking onto the stage when a woman walked behind her and tripped over her dress, falling onto the floor. And instead of seeing if the woman was okay, Chrissy kept on going. However, we don't know if Chrissy actually saw the fall. After the incident, she cleared things up on Twitter, tweeting, quote, "For the record, I couldn't see the woman falling behind me. She stepped on my dress and I was trying not to eat shit. Everyone is saying I'm some sort of monster for not stopping and giving her CPR or something. She is fine, was not a big deal. She should be out of the hospital by Christmas." And of course, there is some truth to what Chrissy said, but the attitude was not needed. And at number 4, Leigh Whannell. Leigh Whannell got into a feud with Chrissy after she decided to give a review of the 2013 film The Conjuring. She said about the movie, quote, "I didn't find The Conjuring scary at all and mostly laughed to myself." But the director of the Saw franchise, Leigh Whannell, decided to defend his friend, the Conjuring director, and clapped back. He tweeted out, quote, "Models talking. Now that's chuckle-worthy," although the tweet was later deleted. Chrissy clapped back that he was a prick and added, quote, "Someone I've never heard of that doesn't even follow me must be constantly searching Twitter for mentions of The Conjuring Conjuring to bitch at. There Goes Me Being in Saw 19 was excited to remove a key from my boob with a torch and spoon. But it seemed that a lot of people didn't agree with Chrissy's criticism of The Conjuring because it's one of the most successful horror franchises ever. And at number 3, Rihanna. This one is not only crazy, but also illegal. While Chrissy was on The Ellen Show, she was talking about how her and her husband John live at Rihanna's old place. And she actually admitted that she had opened Rihanna's mail on a few occasions. She said, quote, "The one fun thing that does happen every once in a while is I get a bill of hers." Chrissy even gave one example of a time that she opened her mail and it was an $18 bill for Rihanna from Bugatti. And side note, how can someone only be charged $18 from Bugatti? That's like my biggest question mark here. Ellen then pointed out that the opening of someone's mail is illegal. And Chrissy replied, quote, "But it's my house now. Can you not? Are we going to edit this? This is why I can't run for president." And I'm sure after that, Rihanna immediately changed her billing address. And at number 2, Donald Trump. Chrissy trolled Donald Trump for years on Twitter before and during his presidency. Some of her tweets about him included, quote, "I literally pose half naked for a living, and you are still the biggest attention I know." Another tweet simply said, quote, "Hey, been a while, I effing hate you." After years of this tweeting, Trump clapped back in 2019 when he called her John Legend's filthy mouthed wife, which she took as a badge of honor. And although many found Chrissy's attacks on the president funny, a lot of people thought it was disrespectful for her to trash the president of her own country so freely. And finally at number 1, John Legend. John Legend exposed the nastiest fight the couple ever had on an episode of Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen. When asked about their infamous fight at Kim and Kanye's 2014 wedding, the couple explained it was a huge fight. Chrissy said, quote, "It was a major blowout to the point where every time I see Kim and Kanye, I feel like apologizing for it." When Andy asked what the fight was actually about, Chrissy responded that it all came from a lot of insecurity on her end, and she took it out on John. When asked why she was insecure, she said all the fabulous, amazing people in one room were very intimidating. She also added that drinking made things a lot worse. And unfortunately, John was her punching bag that day.
It seems there is no in between when it comes to Elon Musk. People either love him or hate him. Some see him as the future of our society, while others think he's just a rich, immature guy who knows a lot about space. I don't know anyone who actually thinks that, but I know a handful of people aren't the biggest fan of Papa Elon, and that's okay. Just want to remind everyone that we don't have to agree on everything or like everything the same. That being said, it seems a handful of people aren't the biggest fan of Elon, or at some point even called him out or exposed him. Today in I.O. we're counting down the top 10 celebrities that warned us about Elon Musk. Starting us off at number 10, we got Grimes. Elon's current girlfriend and the mother of one of his children. Grimes was quick to call out Musk on Twitter when he tweeted out, I quote, "Pronouns suck." In response to the tweet, Grimes would respond, I quote, "I love you, but please turn off your phone or give me a doll. I cannot support hate. Please stop this. I know this isn't your heart." She would later delete the tweet, and she said doll. I think she meant dial. I don't know. Now, for those of you who are unaware, preferred pronouns have become a hot topic of discussion, especially as of late, as a way to be more inclusive to trans and non-binary people. So to no surprise, following Elon's tweet, many were quick to call him out, including Grimes, who felt he was targeting a specific group of people. Musk is no stranger to Twitter controversy, and a few months after this tweet, he'd post a meme which was implying preferred pronouns is a form of oppression, at least as per the hat in which the man at war was wearing, which will once again upset numerous people. An article by Clean Technica referring to the meme caught the attention of Musk, who replied, "I absolutely support trans, but all these pronouns are an aesthetic nightmare." Number 9, Mark Zuckerberg. Bet you guys weren't expecting to see Zuck on here, were ya? Well, you'll be surprised some of the other multi-billionaires on here who apparently don't like Elon either. That may have given it away. Maybe not. Either way, guys, let's talk about Zuck. So it seems when you're one of the richest men in the world, your ego is the size of the universe, because this feud appears to be a big old game of it was your fault, not mine. Taking us back to 2016, a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket would explode alongside a $200 million satellite that Zuckerberg invested in as part of his Internet.org project in Africa. Following the explosion, SpaceX released a statement reading, I quote, "SpaceX can confirm that in preparation for today's static fire, there was an anomaly on the pad resulting in the loss of the vehicle and its payload. Per standard procedure, the pad was clear and there were no injuries." Any idea what that anomaly was? Seems Zuck had an issue with them blaming his satellite, so he took to Facebook with, I quote, "As I'm here in Africa, I'm deeply disappointed to hear that SpaceX's launch failure destroyed our satellite that would have provided connectivity to so many entrepreneurs and everyone else across the continent." Oh boy. At number 8, Bowen Yang. One of the handful of Saturday Night Live cast members who, following the announcement that Elon would be on the show, publicly spoke out against the idea. At first, Yang posted an upset, frowning emoji to his Instagram story shortly after the announcement that Musk would be the show's guest. Then Elon would tweet out, "Let's find out just how live Saturday Night really is." And Yang would repost a tweet to his story, asking his followers, I quote, "What the f does that even mean? Safe to say that Yang wasn't so in love with the idea of Musk being on the show, but it seems, as we know, the show must go on, and they both remain professional doing their thing. Not sure if anything happened to make Yang dislike Musk personally, but I'm sure you guys could see why he's not everyone's cup of tea. And to no surprise, Bowen here isn't the only SNL member on our list. On to number 7, Beneil Dariush. Now, you guys may not know who this man is, and that's because he's not the biggest celebrity in the world, but he's still pretty well known among the MMA community. And just a few weeks ago, after winning his fight against Tony Ferguson, Dariush was quick to call out someone on the microphone. Usually fighters tend to call out other fighters in hopes of getting a matchup they're pushing for, maybe a title shot or a top contender fight. Beneil decided to take his moment and call out, well, you guessed it, Elon Musk. Now, it seems the call out wasn't all that serious, as I'm sure the 155-pound, number 3 ranked overall in the division could take down Musk. But the fighter was still unhappy that Musk was taking so long to deliver his Tesla, which he ordered for his pregnant wife months ago. Speaking with ESPN, Dariush explained, I quote, "The week before the fight, right before I was about to leave, some guys asked, hey, when is your Tesla coming? And I said, man, I don't know. I said jokingly that I would call Elon out after my fight. They said it was a great idea and we laughed. It was just a joke. But as I got closer to the fight, I said, you know what? I'm actually gonna call him out. It's been frustrating. I've been waiting for months." Elon would respond on Twitter and actually give Dariush a rental Tesla until his car is ready, but it turns out his car is ready and there's just no delivery date for it. Come on, Elon. The man's trying to buy the safest car out there for his new family, bro. Get it together. At number 6, Andrew Dismukes. Is that how you say his name? Dismukes? Dismukes. I feel like it's Dismukes. I'm like notoriously known for saying names wrong, and people are gonna be like, you could just look it up. It's funnier when I get it wrong. Following the news that Elon would be hosting SNL, Dismukes took to Instagram writing, I quote, "Only CEO I want to do a sketch with is Sherry O'Terry." It seemed very obvious that he wasn't a fan of Elon being the host for the show, but as per reports, it seems no one was forced to do any sketches with Elon or any host that they don't want to work with. Speaking with Page 6, a source explained, I quote, "Speaking historically, if a cast member has been that unhappy, they don't have to do it. SNL boss Lorne Michaels won't ever make them do anything they don't want to do." On to number 5, George Clooney. You guys remember this hunk? Before the days of Zac Efron and Timothée Chalamet, there was George Clooney. And there still is George Clooney because even as he gets older, this man is just very suave. He's got that silver fox, the gray beard. What a handsome man. However, it seems when it comes to Elon, well, things aren't that fantastic. Way back in 2013, when Tesla was still up and coming, working out all the kinks and all, it seems George was one of the first to get a car. I quote him saying, "I had a Tesla. I was one of the first cats with a Tesla. I think I was like number 5 on the list. But I'm telling you, I've been on the side of the road a while in that thing. And I said to them, look guys, why am I always stuck on the side of the fucking road? Make it work one way or another." It seems Elon wasn't willing to just let that comment slide, taking a Twitter with, I quote, "In other news, George Clooney reports that his iPhone 1 had a bug back in 2007. Oh boy. 80 Bryant. Another SNL cast member who, upon hearing the news that Elon would be hosting, immediately took to her socials to let everyone know how she felt. Now, this was more of a subtle shot at Musk and really anyone with a lot of money. Reposting a Bernie Sanders tweet to her Instagram story reading, I quote, "The 50 wealthiest people in America today own more wealth than the bottom half of our people." Bryant didn't outright say Elon's name, but when the headline started swirling involving her and fellow castmates Bowen Yang and Andrew Dismukes, well, she didn't deny anything. At number 3, Johnny Depp. Well, I think anyone willing to get into a relationship with Amber Heard is a red flag. Oop. It's no secret that Depp and Musk aren't on the best terms given the whole Amber Heard situation, which at one point led to Musk jokingly challenging Depp to a cage fight. Reports claim that prior to Depp and Heard breaking up, she was seeing Musk, but he's denied that claim the whole time, saying he's only been with her after Depp and her split up. Still, Johnny's clearly not a fan, and as recently as 24 hours ago at the time of me writing the script, Johnny's legal team dragged Elon into the lawsuit against his ex-wife. As per Deadline, I quote, "In the Musk subpoena, Depp's lawyers at Brown Rudnick LLP have 24 requests that essentially cover all communications between you and Mrs. Heard regarding Mr. Depp. Included among the 24 requests are specific requests about the Sun case, the ACLU, and any allegations of physical abuse or domestic violence committed by either Mr. Depp or Ms. Heard." Number 2, Jeremy Clarkson. It seems Elon's company Tesla Motors had an issue with a 2008 episode of the BBC show Top Gear. The show, which was hosted by Clarkson at the time, apparently, at least as per Tesla's lawsuit, I quote, "faked a scene in which one roadster ran out of electricity and another experienced brake failure." And then while on BBC Newsnight, Musk straight up said, I quote, "Clarkson's show is much more about entertainment than it is about the truth." However, it seems Clarkson wasn't having it, telling the Daily Beast back in 2017, I quote, "He sued me and lost. He appealed and lost. You go online and you read that we made it up, that we faked it. We didn't. You see, if anybody is going to get sued, I mean, you can't say that sort of thing. I could say all sorts of things about Musk, but I won't. Musk doesn't like losing. Unfortunately, he did twice. He's just got sour grapes." Oh boy. Now at number 1, Jeff Bezos. It seems when you're the richest man in the world, I made this joke before, and someone comes knocking on your door, well, it's gonna piss you off. As they say, there could only be one. And at the time of this recording, Jeff is back on top, but at one point, Elon was named the richest man when Tesla's stock was absolutely ripping. Now it's pulled back a little bit, and at the time of this recording, Elon is sitting number 3 in the world, ahead of Bill Gates and behind Bezos and Bernard Arnault and his family. On a more serious note, it seems like these two are racing to the moon, the way the US and the Soviets did. In 2013, when NASA offered their Launch Complex 39A for private use, both Musk and Bezos tried to get it. After Bezos filed a complaint to the US government's General Accountability Office, he would win the bid over Musk. Then Musk scored a 20-year lease for the exclusive rights, so Bezos did what anyone looking for revenge would do. 6 months later, Bezos hired Bajis Badial to head one of Amazon's space projects. Now, why is this important? Well, Badial was the former SpaceX vice president of satellites who Musk fired. Maybe it was Bezos seeing it as a good business, maybe a slap in the face to Elon. Maybe both. In April, Elon secured another contract with NASA, which, as per reports, had Bezos livid, and he'll be challenging this contract with the US government again. Oh boy.